So what does wrestling mean to you?
Wrestling's everything. You know, I've done it for 21 years, you know, so started at a young age, went through the whole levels, and you know, at a young age I saw that the pinnacle of our sport is the Olympic Games, and you know, I've had that dream since, and I was able after college to pursue that dream, you know, and I'm still pursuing it, you know, as we speak. So it's wrestling is my life. You know, I'm around it all the time. I coach it. You know, I do it myself, and you know, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. What was your first reaction when you heard that the IOC had recommended dropping wrestling from the 2020 Olympics?
Disbelief, really. You know, you know, growing up, I saw it as a kid, and I saw that that's what I wanted to do, and I've had that dream and that goal my entire life. So it's like, really, it's not going to be there. And you know, you do some research on it, and it's crazy. You know, it was, you know, one of the, in all the statistics, it's one of the top sports. It is one of the original sports. It's been in every Olympics since 1800 something, since the original one, and you know, I just couldn't believe that they would take that step to dropping it and keep some of the other sports in there.
So what kind of reaction did you experience when you were in Azerbaijan?
Azerbaijan, you know, they were on the same page as us. You know, they don't have a high school level, they don't have a college level, they have the Olympics. You know, that's what they train for their whole lives. You know, so it was even more so, you know, to them that they were hurt. You know, it takes kids out of poverty. It's huge sports. It's a huge sport in Azerbaijan. You know, they put a bunch of money into it. You know, the facility we were just training at is a $2 million facility that was just built last year. You know, and the coach is like, "What, really? What are we going to do with this?" You know, it's for the Olympic dream. You know, these kids come here thinking that it's a way out. You know, for them, it's a way to get their family out of the, you know, the poverty and everything else they have. You know, and that's what they look at. You know, they look at that. I want to be an Olympic gold medalist. You know, I think they said this year the kid that won my weight won $2.4 million for being an Olympic gold medalist. It's a game changer, you know, for a young kid to see that. You know, so it was definitely big to them, you know, and they were hurt.
Okay, talk about the first-hand experience of how wrestling brought people together, especially between like Iran and the U.S.
You know, while we were over there in Tehran, it was crazy. It was sold out arena, 15,000 or so, loudest arena I've ever been in. You know, and they cheered for us every time, except for when we were wrestling Iran. You know, I think their favorite wrestler in the whole tournament was Jordan Burroughs. You know, and which is ironic. He's beaten Iran in the last 2 years in the finals. But you know, they have such a high respect for wrestling as a whole. You know, so it doesn't matter where you're from to them. It matters. You know, when they see something nice, they'll cheer. You know, when they see good wrestling, they'll cheer. You know, and they had a couple signs in English, and they were all "Save Olympic Wrestling." You know, we can't go without it. You know, and they truly believe that they can't go without it. And you know, the president of Iran showed up to the dual meet. You know, it's a pretty big deal, and he came down and shook all our hands and took a picture with us. You know, so you see the support that they have, not in their wrestling, just their wrestling base, but their government. You know, everything that their country is so big into the sport, and it means so much to them that they're going down with the fight. You know, they're not going to let it just happen to them.
Okay. What has Olympic wrestling done for you?
It's given me that dream. You know, not every day, not every person gets to say, "Well, I spent 20 years of my life chasing a dream." You know, I love what I do, and you know, to me, it's really not a job. You know, and it is a true amateur sport. But I don't have a league. You know, when I'm done. You know, when I got done with the Olympics, I couldn't go back and be making $1 million a year wrestling in some league. You know, we don't have that. You know, you go back to have a job and also compete. And, you know, like I said, it just gave me that hope and that dream and that goal to look forward to my whole life, you know, and I've always wanted to be on top of that podium in the biggest event in the world in my mind. And, you know, I was fortunate enough you know, to wrestle in it and get a medal, you know, and I'm still going to pursue that dream, you know, for as long as I can. We don't have a huge window, you know, so, you know, I think you have to take advantage of it. And, you know, wrestling has done a lot for me personally. It's made me who I am today. You know, like I said, I've done it for 20 years, and it's all I know. So, you know, of course, it's formed me of who I am.
Okay, and what will you do to help save Olympic wrestling?
You know, anything I can. You know, I don't know if there's something specific. You know, they asked me to write that article for USA Today, and I didn't really think anything of it. I just said, of course I will. You know, but sort of, you know, it's propelled, and I don't know if anything I say or do will matter, but you know, if it does one bit, you know, if there's that chance that it will, I'll do whatever I can. You know, I'll do anything that they ask, and you know, anything that that I can go out and personally do and talk about and let people know about. You know, it's it's not so much my generation as it is the younger generation that would be hurt more if we didn't have wrestling. Like I said, I'm old. I've gone through it and going through it. But what about younger kids, the high school kids that have that dream of wrestling in the 2020 Olympics, just like I had wrestling in the 2012 Olympics when I was going through high school. You see it, and you're inspired by these athletes, and then all you can think about is that, and then all of a sudden, well, you can't do that. It's not going to happen. It's going to hurt. It hurts. I hurt for them. I think that's part of why I do whatever I can. And like I said, if it might not mean anything to people, they might not know who I am or what, but if it can change a little bit, I'll definitely try. Anything.
Okay. Last question is, what is something that you want to say to wrestling fans all over concerning this?
Keep that dream, keep that hope. I do believe that it'll be back in the Olympics. I think that the IOC underestimated how strong the wrestling community is worldwide, and we're all banding together. We're bridging that gap. Even us and Iran and Russia may not get along politically, but in the wrestling sense, we all do. And we've definitely made some strides, and we're not going to be this country, it's all going to be together. And I think that it'll be back in, and so I think those kids just need to keep that dream, keep that hope, and know that we'll get it done. These upper guys will get it done and get it back into the Olympics.